We'll take you to the visitation of a Kentucky State Police trooper that was killed in the line of duty.
We have one more very nice weather day ahead of us, then changes rolling into town for the weekend, and I'm tracking them next with the hour-by-hour forecast.
And some Lexington students get a special visit today from UK basketball players.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon. We're tracking a tense situation this afternoon at a Southern Kentucky school district. The Whitley County Emergency Management Director confirms to us that all Whitley County schools are on lockdown right now due to some sort of threat. That includes Whitley County High School, Whitley County Middle School, and all 7 elementary schools in the district. We're also told no buses are leaving the schools right now and no one is being allowed in or out of the schools. We've not been given any details about the threat or when the lockdown will end. We have a crew on the way and we'll bring you more information as we get it on air and on WKYT.com. Well, we are not letting go of summer just yet. It's another warm and dry afternoon. You're looking live at Triangle Park in downtown Lexington. They're getting ready for Thursday Night Live tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris, another nice day.
Yeah, going to be rocking and rolling in downtown this evening, Jennifer, and across the entire area today. Very similar to the past couple of days. Upper 70s and low 80s. Continuing to show up across the entire region, right around 80 degrees. You know what? That's normal for this time of year. We look outside right now, our Skycam in Lexington over top of Hamburg Pavilion. A little more in the way of blue skies compared to the same view yesterday. Defender as of now. Nothing showing up across central and eastern Kentucky. Broaden out the view a little bit to show you that big area of high pressure still controlling the weather across the mid-Atlantic states. And if you're out and about this evening, it's a nice one, but a quick drop in thermometers as the sun sets. We're into the low and mid 60s by around 11 o'clock. Now, when I come back in about 15 minutes, Jennifer, changes continue to show up for the weekend. I've got a cold front due into town, and that may play a role into the for folks heading out to Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday. A new hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers are saying goodbye right now to a Kentucky State Police trooper gunned down in the line of duty. Trooper Cameron Ponder was shot to death after a traffic stop and high-speed chase Sunday night on I-24 in Lyon County. WKYT Sam Smith is in Hardin County, where Trooper Ponder's visitation is going on. It's our top story at 4.
The visitation for Trooper Joseph Cameron Ponder is going on right now. It started at 1 o'clock, and throughout the day, people have been going in and out of the church to pay their respects. Trooper Ponder was killed Sunday during a traffic stop. He was 31 years old. He was also a star athlete that turned down a track scholarship to join the Navy. He graduated from the State Police Training Academy in January, and he was only on the job 9 months before he was killed. He was stationed at KSP Post 1 in Mayfield. Kentucky State Police troopers are taking this hard because they've all been on similar traffic stops.
Our hearts are broken. We've lost 3 Kentucky State troopers in just about 90 days. Due to some very tragic circumstances, and this one is just absolutely horrific to our core.
His visitation continues until 8 o'clock tonight. His funeral is tomorrow morning. In Hardin County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Ponder's funeral is at 11 tomorrow morning at Severns Valley Baptist Church in Elizabethtown, followed by his burial. A man wanted for causing a crash that killed a Central Kentucky teenager is now in custody. WKYT has learned that Muhammad Abdullah was arrested today in Baltimore. A Scott County grand jury indicted him this week for manslaughter and assault for a crash in May on Interstate 64. Police say he was driving recklessly when his car hit a pickup, killing 13-year-old Emily Sams of Bourbon County and seriously injuring her parents. Abdullah will be brought back to Kentucky to answer to the charges. Several UK basketball players taking time today to visit with students at 2 Lexington schools. Alex Poitras, Tyler Eulis, Marcus Lee, Derek Willis, and Jamal Murray among the Wildcats visiting Lansdowne and Picadome elementary schools. They talked to the boys and girls and even played some kickball. Rob Bromley will have more on their visit on WKYT News at 5. And we're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick is in the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A Southern Kentucky man faces more than a dozen kidnapping charges after an apparent road rage incident involving a school bus. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office arrested 31-year-old James Long last night. The Sheriff's Office says Long cut off a school bus full of students, then stopped in front of it and would not let it move for several minutes. Deputies say Long claimed the bus had been tailgating him. Long is charged with 19 counts of kidnapping and 23 counts of wanton endangerment. We'll have the latest on the investigation from Pulaski County coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. Supporters of embattled Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis held a religious rally in Tennessee today. The Stand in the Gap for Truth rally started at noon in Nashville. Davis's husband Joe is leading the charge, which is being hosted by the Tennessee Pastors Network. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Nashville today. He'll have a report from the rally later on WKYT News at 4:30. And if you need a good excuse to eat out today, here it is. AVOL holding its 6th annual Dining Out for Life to help in the fight against HIV and AIDS. AVOL provides housing to hundreds of Kentuckians living with HIV and AIDS. It also provides supportive services like free HIV screening. Today only, you can help AVOL raise money by dining out at certain Lexington restaurants. Each one will donate 25% of today's sales to AVOL. And you can find a list of participating restaurants on WKYT.com. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to a story making headlines across the nation at 4. Nearly 23 million people watched last night's GOP presidential debate. The debate and some of the Republicans trailing in the polls hope to capitalize on that exposure and shake up the race. The first primary votes will be cast in less than 5 months. Mark Albert has the latest.
Going to turn to domestic issues.
Carly Fiorina broke through the chatter Wednesday night to raise her profile among the rest of the crowd of Republican presidential hopefuls.
Carly Fiorina clearly outpaced everybody else in this debate. She won hands down.
John Fury is a GOP strategist. He says Fiorina shined brightest when she took on Donald Trump.
She was the most prepared. She gave the sharpest answers. She was on point, and she was tough. She was especially tough with Donald Trump in a way that no other candidate could do.
Fiorina's biggest hit came when she was asked to respond to Trump's jab about her looks.
I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
Fiorina wasn't alone in taking shots at Trump.
I mean, the lack of judgment and the lack of understanding about how the world works is really dangerous.
I was involved with virtually every question, so it was really a little bit wild.
Fury says Trump should have expected the attacks.
He was number one, and everyone wanted to go after number one, and he just did not prepare, and he did not show up.
The next GOP debate is October 28th in Colorado. Mark Albert for CBS News, Washington.
And that third GOP debate will be 2 weeks after the first Democratic debate, which is October 13th in Las Vegas. A merger in the cable TV business. What companies want to come together in WKYT Money Watch. And Target is giving something away to all its employees. Find out what coming up on WKYT News at 4.